What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Trent the Truth Show. I'm your host, Trent the Truth. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're listening from, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify and YouTube. It's the Trent the Truth Show. And while you're doing that, give us some love on social media. It's Trent the Truth on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you search. Real quick, today's episode is brought to you by Gold Coast Gang, GCG. Gold Coast Gang, the brand for creators of art, style, and taste. Home of the infamous Louis Vuitton. A brand for the people. Premium goods at practical prices. For more information, follow Gold Coast Gang on Instagram and Facebook. Check out the website, www.goldcoastgang.shop. Again, that's www.goldcoastgang.shop. Hit them up, shop, support a black business. And just like I tell you guys, if you want to be a guest, you want to be a sponsor, you have any questions, comments, or anything you want me to address, email me at trentthetruthshow@gmail.com. Again, that's trentthetruthshow@gmail.com. And for the people out there in TV land, we got the QR code on the screen. If you want to cash app us, it's Trent the Truth 88. Again, that's Trent the Truth 88. Don't forget the $ in the front. And we got the QR code on the screen for you guys so you can pull your phone out, make a donation from wherever you're watching. But whatever you decide to do with the show, we are truly grateful, whether it's a question, comment, you want to be a guest, sponsor, or you want something addressed. We truly appreciate that. Continuous proof of that. We got a great guest in the house today. We got Mr. Dark with us.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Good,
Thank you
man.
for coming, man.
Good.
You a client, went to school, some of your
I
kids.
go way back, bro.
Yeah, man,
I
you
go way back.
way back, man. So I do know you got the financial background, and you just being an older figure, somebody to look up to, ask questions, stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure I get you on the show, pick your brain a little bit,
Okay.
see what you know, find out how we can elevate ourselves.
That's right.
Yeah, with things like
right.
that, man. Introduce yourself.
Okay. You know what? First of all, I want to thank you for having me on the show. And my name is Paul Dark.
Okay.
I've been in this industry. Wow. I've been in the financial and insurance game for 32 years.
Wow.
That's a long time. And I love it.
Okay.
I love what I do. I love working with people. I love helping people.
That's what's up.
And, I tell my kids all the time, find something that you really, really, truly like to do.
Right.
And you never work a day in your life.
I promise you that. That's
telling you, you
true.
never work a day in your life. This doesn't seem, I feel like I'm cheating life because I love what I do.
That's how I feel about the
I really,
barber.
truly love what I do, and at the same time, I'm helping people out.
Exactly.
I'm helping my people out, and I'm working with younger people.
Okay.
And see, and I think that's something that my generation, that's what we miss, man. We retain all this information and this knowledge, but if we don't pass it on to the next generation, then what happens to the next generation?
That's true.
So that's why it's important for me to convey all this information to you. Then guess what? Then you're gonna do it to your kids.
Exactly.
Then your kids gonna do it to someone else.
Exactly.
And so that way, they don't necessarily have to start where I started. I didn't start where my dad started.
Right.
So that's the way how you make. It's called generational wealth.
Okay.
That's how you start the generational wealth game.
Each one teach one.
Yep.
That's what it's about. No, I definitely know what you mean, especially about loving what you do. That's how I feel about barbering.
Exactly.
I don't think this is work at all.
Yeah.
People make appointments. People call me for work, for a haircut. I think what I tell myself is they calling me to give me some money.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I've had jobs.
Exactly.
Where you got to punch in and
Right.
you get micromanaged and all that. So
Yep.
hey, I agree with you. This is not work at all.
Yep.
So you say you've been in the financial and insurance industry.
For 32. You know what? Let me rephrase that, because I've had my company for 32 years, but I've been in the industry for about 40 because I started out with Prudential.
Okay.
And when I was with Prudential, I had the type of background that they groomed me to be something of importance.
Okay.
And and that's a rarity in our society, particularly with like black people,
Right.
African Americans, however you want to say it. So I was a customer service rep, underwriter, sales rep, and I took all those skills and said, let me incorporate these skills into my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's primarily what I did.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's the name of the company?
The name of the company is called Benefit Management Associates. We're on social media. We have a website, www.benefitmngt.com. And we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, but ask me information in regards to how you get on there. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't tell you.
I know I'm on there. But...
Yeah, I know. I am not. My technology skills are like this. My know-how skills, I'm up. I'm there. Right. But when it comes to that technology, bro, I'll leave it up to you.
I got to get somebody else to do it.
I'll leave it to the young folks.
I'm almost there. I be having my kids help me with little certain things on the computer. Because I don't use it every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like, man, you need that help. I definitely get that. 32 years, that's a long time. Been in the game 40 years, so it almost sounds like, you know everything there is to know.
You know what? But it's funny, Trent. You know what I always tell people? You don't stop learning until you go 6 feet under.
That's true.
So what I do, and I even look at how I've been in this game so long, and that becomes knowledge. But more importantly, I listen to young folks, bro. I listen to young folks all the time, and I'm as they're talking, I'm retaining.
Right.
I'm retaining, and I'm sure as I talk,
they retain it. That's how it should be.
Exactly. They retain it. So that's a win-win situation.
That's definitely how it should be. But you know what though? These days, kids today, they almost size up who's giving the message to see if you're the right person to be telling me what to be doing with my money. Yep. Some of it I understand.
Yeah.
Because you can't be the type of person to never been and had nothing.
Right.
And then you want to try to tell me how to be.
Yeah.
It's hard to see that message that way.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's a status symbol.
It is.
If I pull up, I have no knowledge, and I pull up in a Bentley, they want to listen.
That's true.
Now, if I have knowledge, and I pull up in a Infinity,
they might listen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what we have to get away from. What I always promote, like I said before, and we're going to talk about it all the time, and you've been cutting my hair for a long time. We talk about generational wealth.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That's why I had to get you on here, because I'm like, you know what? You give me little trinkets here and there, but I'm like, man, a lot of people need to hear this. A lot of people need to know this.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people all the time, you know what? I don't care how healthy you are. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
That's true.
We really don't. So, to say, I'm not going to get an insurance policy because, I'm 22 years old. Nothing's not going to happen to me. I mean, you and I were just talking a few seconds ago
about
the young man that went to Morgan Park.
Yeah,
I
was
just
like
suddenly
30, passed.
Was he like?
He was younger than me. I'm 38. He probably was like maybe 34, 35, something like that.
There you go. So that's why I encourage people to look at these financial tools and look at them, dissect them, and I'm not telling you to do everything that I say. Take pieces of it, bits and pieces, and put it together and start out.
Right.
Because you don't need $1 million. You don't need a whole bunch of income in order to start out the right way.
That's true.
You
just gotta start.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
You really do. You gotta start somewhere. And I try to encourage people to take. You and I talk about this a lot with the IUL.
Right.
And we call them permanent policies. That is so key. Because what it's doing is that not only are you, if you have a death benefit, you're accumulating cash.
Right.
You're accumulating cash. It would be awesome to be in a position where this policy is actually accumulating cash, tax deductible.
Right.
Then at the same time, you can say, why would I go to the bank to borrow money to get a car?
When I go
right over to that policy. Boom, I can take a loan for myself.
Right.
That's been doing it the smart way.
And IULs is Index Universal
Index
Life.
Universal, right?
Okay.
And there's plenty of permanent policies. That's not always the ideal situation for everybody. But it's a case by case basis.
Right.
So what we do is that we sit down and we'll probably spend a good 2 to 3 hours with that person, dissect everything, and then we come back in and make recommendations.
Right. Based on everything you told us, we think this plan, this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So that's how we work.
But you know what though? How long have IULs been around?
They've been around forever. You have to think about this whole industry game with African Americans. In the beginning, we were only allowed to do life insurance policies, and guess what? We could only do term years ago. And then they kind of opened up the doors a little bit.
Okay.
And we were able to do and sell like buy-sell agreements and permanent policies. But, that wasn't always available to Black or African American agents. We were only allowed to sell, the man company. Well, you probably don't remember this, but when I was a kid, my grandmother used to have an insurance guy come by, and he had this big book about this big. Come by, throw it out, write the information down, and then the insurance policy was like this big.
Wow. Like
a little book, almost like a green stamp book, and it was called debit insurance.
Okay.
And they were paying my grandmother's paid all this money for everybody had a policy. Policy was about $10,000. Not knowing, just making sure that we had some coverage.
Right.
But as I thought about it, she probably paid double that $10,000 and didn't make nothing.
Wow.
Think about if she would have took that money and put into a permanent policy.
Right. You would have been building value.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
There you go.
Cause see, like I asked, how long has it been around? Because I haven't really heard of those until maybe about 5 years ago.
Right.
So it's almost like is it a secret being kept or?
Well, you know what I mean. Yes and no. I mean, it's something that's around, but sometimes it's very difficult to try to. And see, I always tell people, I'm not in sales.
Okay.
I've never been in sales. I'm a consultant.
Right.
That's what I tell people. I am a consultant. I am a listener, and I tell people it's the reason why God gave us two ears and one mouth.
Right.
The emphasis is placed on here.
That's true.
And so that's what I do. I mean, that if I had a success story or elevator story, as they call it, that's my elevator story. Is that I listen to people and I curtail a product towards me listening to people and saying, this is the best thing for you at this particular time.
Okay.
Now that situation may change next year,
right?
5 years, 7 years, who knows? So we're there for them to educate them every single year. We're gonna come back and say, let's take a look at your portfolio and see if we need to make any changes.
Right.
If we need to make changes, we certainly will. But if we don't, we're gonna leave it alone.
That's pretty good. And you say you've been in it. So year 8 of the 40-year game, you decided you had enough information and you knew enough about it to start your own, or what was it that made you say, you know what, it's time for me to do my own thing?
It's interesting. Believe it or not, in 1994, there was a gentleman that encouraged me to do it on my own, but he wanted to be he was my partner, and he had a loft down the street from Wrigley Field, 843 West Newport. I never get that address. 843 West Newport. That was our first office. He had a loft, and we took the first floor and used it for an office. He lived up on the second floor. He got married. His wife worked for Leo Burnett.
Okay.
And we were rolling. We were doing very good. And his wife got a promotion to Warsaw, Poland. They had to move to Poland. And that's when I had to buy him out.
Okay.
But at that time, the shares that we had was very minimal.
Okay.
Because of the fact that we weren't in business a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. But,
so did that kind of put you on like a hole a little bit, or?
Absolutely. Because then what I did was I brought the business on the south side of Chicago.
Okay.
I brought it in the south side of Chicago. The only issue that we were having is when we talk about, because we work both with the public and the private sector, and with the public sector, there's programs and contracts out there for minority business.
Okay.
Okay, but the stipulation though for a minority business is that it had to be at least 51% controlled by a minority.
Okay.
My partner was not a minority. So that's what we had the issue, because I said I need 51% in order to go after these contracts, but I couldn't. And he was getting some bad advice. And so to me, eventually we would have probably subsided anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you decided to buy them out so that way I can still keep this going.
Absolutely. And we went after those government contracts.
Okay.
You know, which I encourage everybody to go after those government
I
contracts. I mean, they're very lucrative.
What kind of work did you do before that?
Believe it or not, when I first came out of college, I worked for Coca-Cola USA.
Okay.
Worked for Coca-Cola as a sales manager. And it's crazy. Out of the entire country, there was only, at that time, there was only 6 minorities.
Wow.
Sales manager for Coca-Cola USA. Now, the difference with Coca-Cola USA is that this was a company that was responsible for the fountain sales.
Okay.
Drinks, not the bottles, because the bottling companies are franchised.
I didn't know that.
Check it out. Dr. J, Julius Erving.
Right.
Julius Erving was a co-partner, a co-owner of the Coca-Cola bottling company of Philadelphia. It was.
I didn't know that.
And I'm trying to think of this gentleman's name. Oh, Junior Bridgman.
You told me about him.
I always give people this Junior Bridgman story because it's fascinating. Because here's a man that played in the NBA, but in those times, the highest salary that he made was $350K. $350K. What he did in the summer, instead of educating or working on his craft, what he did was he went to work for Wendy's.
Okay.
Every summer, went to work for Wendy's. When he got through with the NBA, he owned every single Wendy's in Milwaukee, which he played for the Milwaukee Bucks. He took that, channeled that, went into a place called Ryan's, which is like a buffet style type of deal.
Okay.
Bought into that. Then he went in and started buying Chili's. The Chili's on 119th.
Right.
That's Junior Bridgman.
Wow. Many times I've been in that.
That's Junior Bridgman. And so what he did then was he took all these restaurants, all this wealth, and sold it and bought the bottling rights for Coca-Cola in Missouri.
The bottling rights, so that way he can put
that
it in.
All the bottling, 2 liters, bottles, cans, everything. That was his.
Wow.
That was his.
Now you're getting hand over fist now.
Yep.
And a lot of people probably didn't even know him for being in the NBA.
You know what? When you ask people, name me the top 5 or top 10 NBA or former NBA millionaires, his name never comes up.
Never comes
up. You know, to me, this man was brilliant.
Right.
You know, I mean, you know, even when you look at Magic Johnson, I mean, that's back in your day. So Magic Johnson, look at all the wealth that he generated from what, at that time, $1 million contract was like the ultimate.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It was the ultimate. So when they said, we're going to pay you $1 million for 25 years for Magic Johnson, that was like a contract that was unheard of. But look how he parlayed that money in.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's, to me, that's what it's all about. But what I love about it is the fact that when he got there, what did he do? He built the Starbucks. He got Starbucks. But what did he put them? He put them into communities that they said it wasn't going to work.
That's true.
The first one was on, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think the first one was on 71st and Stony.
Right where it's at.
Yep. That's one of the top Starbucks right now.
Wow. Wow.
71st and Stony Island.
Wow. Right in the heart of the city.
Thank you.
That's pretty good. Because I think about investors, I think about Jamal Mashburn.
There you go.
Yeah. But see, the players that probably didn't make too much of a big name on the court, but they end up getting it together on the investments. And see, that's why investing is so important, which is why I'm like, you know what? I need to get some information from you on how everything. So, okay, you take somebody who doesn't know anything about insurance or investment. Where do they begin?
I mean, you know what? I mean, what I always try to do is that seek advice from the people that went through what you're going through.
Okay.
Always. I always tell people that. You know, it's real simple. You know, life, to me, life is easy. We just make it hard.
Right.
Including myself. I do the same thing. I do the stupid. You know, I didn't listen to certain people. You know, and I always tell myself, what would the Paul Dark now tell the Paul Dark when he was 25? Bro, if I did that, I would be golden. You know, but I missed that boat.
Okay.
But I'm talking to people like you, and I'm talking to other people. Say, look, I don't want y'all to miss that boat that I missed. I want you all, because the way I look at this whole thing about life, man, is that if you don't do better than me, then there's something wrong with me. Something I did wrong.
I feel, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want you to be mediocre. I want to maximize your potential. And if by doing that, I'm going to show you and tell you every single thing that I know.
Exactly.
You know, and then I want you to excel.
Exactly.
You know, that's what I want.
You can take that and run with it.
Exactly. You know, because, and it's not saying, you know, I'm not trying to look for anything out of the deal. Just do well.
Right.
Shoot, you know, take me out to dinner, you know, once in a while, you know. Give me some cocktails like you do.
Exactly.
You know,
something nice, something to show me that you're doing well for yourself.
Good. Right, I'm good. You know, and that's how I've been. You know, it's funny. You know, and back in the day when my kids were in high school and they went to Morgan Park, my wife and I, we had so many people come by there. Kids, you know, the kids from Morgan Park, and you know the boys, you know, the guys, they would come by there and Mr. Dark, can you ask you know, can I talk to you about that? And they still do that to this day, you know, and I didn't mind. Same thing with the females, you know, and I gave them life experiences.
Yeah.
You know, because I think it's important for us to share that knowledge, you know.
That's true.
Not just the financial piece, not just the insurance piece, but just like you said, like the game of life, man. And I've made plenty of mistakes, tons of them.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I learned from them, you know.
That's the key.
You know, and we got to make sure that we learn from them. And we try, as much as we try not to make the same mistake again, man, we do it.
That's true.
You know, we do it, you know?
That is true.
We do it.
Learning from the mistakes is key. But you mentioned something about making mistakes and the struggle part. And because I feel like I'm at a point now to where, you know, I got a good hold on my financial situation. I got direction with what we're going with that. But I think about kids today. And I think about, like, with all of the internet and social media and stuff, and how much pressure it is on them today to feel like they gotta have it all together.
Yeah. You know what? It's so different now, because I even look at it like, let's look at Michael Jordan.
Right.
Michael Jordan, when he became Michael Jordan, it wasn't no social media.
No, it wasn't.
Come on, it wasn't no social media, you know. And these guys have no privacy whatsoever. None. And now that we have social media, nobody does.
No.
I mean, you know, every time you out, you look at, first thing you look at, you looking at, they invite the phone with cameras, you know.
That's true.
And so you can't be yourself.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, and it's not just the athletes, the entertainers, it's all of us.
That's true.
You know, it's just that, and you know what, for people, guys like me, when Facebook first came out, loved it.
Right.
I said, this is cool, because I can meet people, see people, man, I ain't seen in 20, 30 years.
Exactly.
I love it, you know. But then I think that millennials took it to a different level, man. They took it to a level where it started to get negative.
Right.
You know, they started using it as a tool to bash at somebody.
That's true.
And to me, that's the coward way.
Bullying, right?
Right. Because see, if I got a beef with Trent, guess what? I'm gonna talk to Trent.
Exactly. I ain't gonna get on social media.
Problem with me, you gonna talk to me.
Right.
I'm not gonna get on social media, and that's what they do. You know, even when I look at the interviewing process, a lot of kids don't even know how to communicate
No,
because
they
they've been
don't.
so accustomed to the social media
That's true.
that they don't know how to communicate.
That's true.
I mean, they get. I'm in front of somebody. I'm scared.
They get antsy. Their attention spans be short. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the negative part about social media. I mean, there are positives. They don't like anything else, but to me that's the negative about social media. Where I have a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
And it don't really serve no purpose.
Yeah.
If you know you're not using it for
positive.
Exactly.
No, I totally
maximizing networking.
Yeah.
Business.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree.
So how was the economy when you first started, compared to what it looks like now? Even going back to that pressure that it takes kids today. Was it any pressure for you coming up when you were in your 20s? Were you a father then?
Yeah, you know what? I became a dad at 28 years old.
Okay.
I got married in 1985, and in fact, my wife and I celebrated our 40th year anniversary.
That's all right.
Yeah, I dated my wife when I was 17, so we were high school sweethearts.
Okay.
And I've known my father-in-law since I've been 15 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
We had, got 3 lovely girls, and we'll talk about that. Now I have 2. Unfortunately, my baby girl, Lindsay Dark, she passed away.
Right. Rest in peace, Lindsay.
Yeah, she passed away. But, I mean, if I could do it all over again, I would do it the exact same way.
Okay.
Do it the exact same way.
So when you got married in 85, what was the financial situation then? What was the economy looking like?
You know what? Interest rates were high.
Okay.
Compared to now, interest rates were high. And we even think interest rates are high now. Interest rates, man, were double digits. Like you went out to get a house, you were paying like 12%.
Wow.
Yeah, and we thought that was a great deal. And it wasn't. But we didn't have all the life was not as complex back then like it is now. You know what I'm saying? It was just, it was a business, and then there was a person.
Right.
And you were able to separate the two.
Okay.
But now it's just like, I just see everybody just like this.
It's so mixed.
I mean, you know what? One day we were out. My wife and I were out to dinner, and we were looking at a family of 4. And Trent, this is what I saw. I was just looking around the whole restaurant like this. When I saw
the phones.
Look, the whole family, 4 people.
I hate that.
They're not even talking.
I hate that.
They're not even talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
At my house, and I'm trying to remember the young man's name. Running back, Morgan Park.
DJ. Yeah.
DJ came by the house, man. He was excited. He said, "It's dark." He said, "I love it." He said, "Because phones, put them away. We at the dinner table.
Yeah.
No phones."
Yeah.
I did that. No phones. And that's something that we missing, man. The families don't communicate no more.
I swear.
Man, they don't communicate.
I swear.
They don't talk. They just be, on social media. I'm like, get off the phone, man.
That family aspect is, and see, it's on us to make sure it stays there.
Exactly.
Like I was talking with my wife not too long ago, and we were talking about how we don't really sit down. I was reminding her about a time where we had 1 TV in the house when I was coming up.
Same here.
Maybe 2. My parents had a TV in their room. We had a TV in the living room.
Dude, we didn't even have a TV in nobody's room.
Right.
We had 1 TV, and guess what the remote was?
What? You get up. Yeah, you get up and flip.
We were the remotes.
Yeah.
Turn to channel 5.
Yeah.
We were the remotes.
And see, now these days, in your efforts to be better than how you was raised and all of that, now it's a TV in every room because you want to tell yourself things will be better for us.
Yeah.
But it takes away from that whole group aspect of the family. So, okay, my girls got a TV in their room, my boys got a TV in their room, I got a TV here. So I don't even know why we have a living room TV, because everybody be in their own little worlds. It's rare that we all get together. And when I noticed that, I talked to them, I said, look, we got to start changing this.
So true.
So what we do now, What we do now is we make sure we sit together in one room, even if it's just watching TV or whatever. We make sure we do that. We watch a movie. We force that on ourselves.
True. Think about what you just said.
Gotta force that.
What kind of room was it?
Living room.
Living.
Yeah.
Not the room, but
the living room.
Living. You know, and because that TV was in that living room, everybody was together.
Exactly.
Living life.
Exactly.
Now, like you said, everybody got a room, a TV in their room. So what that creates? Separation.
Division. Yeah.
Separation.
Yeah.
See, you know what? Like I said before, the game of life, man. It's just, I said, you know, a lot of time, I have thoughts and things in my head, and I'm thinking like everybody. I don't know if you feel the same way. You probably do. I listen to you talk. I'm thinking that everybody's on the same page as me, and then when I start saying stuff, people are like,
I swear to God.
You know, come on, man.
I swear to God.
I'm serious.
I swear to God.
Y'all didn't know this? You know, I was talking to a young man earlier in this week, and this person was so wrapped up in making money and doing this, and I'm able to do this and that. It's cool, you know, but I told him, I said, you know what you need to do? I have a little blue book, and I write, every time I think of something, I write it down. And I told him, I said, you know what? There's a beginning and there's a destination, right? And I said, enjoy the ride to your destination. You know why? Because
you have more fun on the way.
And plus, the ride is more important than the destination.
Yes.
Because if you miss all the things that you on that ride, when you get to the destination, you ain't gonna know nothing.
You ain't gonna know nothing.
Right.
You're gonna find out that it ain't even really. You have more fun on the way here.
Thank you.
Man,
Thank you.
I tell people that all the time, man. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. The bumps.
Let me just say this: that I look at myself now. I'm 66 years old, and I can literally look back now, and I can remember things that Brianna did when she was 2-3 years old.
Wow.
Trent, that time goes by so fast.
It do. Blinks.
I mean, for me to look back and say that I'm 66 years old, I still remember when I got married. You know, I remember when I was in college probably doing the dumb things, you know.
Having fun,
man. I'm going to parties on Tuesdays.
Oh wow!
I got a final on Wednesday, you know. So I mean, I had a ball, you know. But but there's we need a balance in life.
That's true.
You know, I tell people, I work very hard, but I play hard too.
There you go.
I play hard.
You have to figure out some kind of way to reward yourself for the work you're doing, or you'll find yourself chasing your tail, running in circles.
Exactly. And then one of the things that I learned from somebody else is I had a barber, female barber. Okay. And learned so much, and I always think about you because barbers are a black man's therapist.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
Oh yeah. You learned about that early.
Yeah. It's a black man's
You learned about that early. That's chapter 1.
Yeah. Black man's therapist. I went in there. I get all this stuff going on, man. I'm doing this. I'm like, oh man, this is going on. I'm, just all balled up. Came into my barber. She looked at me. She said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Just go." She said, "Go in the office. Go in the back. Gave me a shot. Chill." Took me from everybody. She had a whole bunch of really prominent black people.
Okay.
Very prominent black people. And she said, "Go in the back. Have your drink. Calm down. Then we sit down and talk." You know what she did for me? She said, I had just started out. She said, on Fridays, every Friday, don't do nothing. I said, what? She said, every Friday, I want you not to do nothing. I forgot what day that was. It could have been Tuesday, Wednesday. She said, I booked you a hotel, and I tasked her.
Oh, wow.
And it's already there. You go in there. If you want to do work, you do work. You do work in the bed. And man, from that point on, every Friday, that's what I did.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
I got a hotel, something like that. But then I took up golf, so I stopped playing golf. But I did something for myself on Fridays.
You have to.
And we all need that break, man. I
you
mean,
have to.
With us, we have family. We have business. We got all these pressures that we don't realize.
No, we don't.
And we have to just take a mental break. And there's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist, man. That's the one thing about us too, is that we don't take mental health as serious as we really should. And I think that's why you see a lot of young men that are in that mindset right now. I mean, they're doing things now, and I'm sure even with you, men are doing, these young boys are doing things that we couldn't even dream about.
That's true.
I mean, they killing one another, they shooting. What is going on?
They doing this shit like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
Like this. But it goes back to that pressure though. Like, you got so much pressure on you to have your dollars in order, to have it all together, to be so rich. And they throw away their whole life by thinking that it needs to be like a quick flash.
The whole issue is that this journey of life, man, is long.
Yeah.
And you have to cater yourself in a way to say, look, I want to be comfortable through this whole journey.
That's true.
And if I get into certain things and doing certain things, I ain't gonna make it.
No, you're not.
I'm not gonna make it, man. So I gotta sit back and think about it and say, look, this is the right path. Let me listen to some of these people, and I don't care if it's me, if it's Trent, if it's church pastor, it doesn't matter. Just listen to somebody.
Have somebody you can talk to, man, get some advice from somebody you trust.
Yeah. I encourage all these young people to do that, And when I say young people, it's like 40, 50, 60 years, 50, years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen so many people that in my lifetime, like right now, I'm going through a situation where now I'm seeing people that I grew up with that are no longer with me.
Yeah. Oh, I see that too.
Yeah.
It's shocking for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's freaking me out. I'm like, oh man, so bad. This person happened, so it's it's something to think about. I think about my mom. I lost my mom in 2020. And she was miserable. And I asked her, I said, what's wrong, Mom? What's wrong? And she said, my nickname is Ricky. So
okay.
She said, Ricky, you know what? I never thought that I would outlive all of my. And she said, to be honest with you, she said, I love you, because I'm an only child. But I miss my friends. And I don't have any. They all gone. There's only one person left. And it didn't really resonate with me until I thought about it. I said, that's true. And my mom is crazy. My mom got sick in 2020.
Okay.
And I never forget this, bro. It was around Thanksgiving. And my wife and I said, okay, she was in the hospital. And she said, you know what? Come pick me up, because they said I can go home. And see, 2020 was during the epidemic.
Right, with COVID.
Yeah. And so I said, okay. He said, pick me up. I said, okay, because I'm making dinner for Thanksgiving. My wife and I got up on Wednesday, and we said, you know what, we'll pick her up on Thursday, because the hospital said she wasn't ready. So we got there, got up in the morning. She called me on Thanksgiving. Never forget this. She said, you were supposed to pick me up yesterday. And I told her, I said, you know what? The doctor wouldn't let me pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, she said, well, don't worry about it, because I'm dying. That was she told me.
Wow.
And I said, no. My wife and I jumped in the car, ran to the hospital. Yeah, she is. Done.
Wow.
And so, me being the only child, I lost my dad, back in 03.
Okay.
I said, you know what? I said, I didn't know what to say, man. It tore me apart. And came back, didn't even, I wasn't even into Thanksgiving.
Right.
And my girls came by to see her. And obviously they were crying. They called her granny. And she said, no crying. No crying. She said, I had my life. I'm good. I got a chance to see my grandkids. I saw them grow. I'm good. And they gave her, hours.
Okay.
She passed away like almost a month later.
Wow.
Yep, almost a month later. And her request to me was, she wanted a glass of champagne. She wanted a glass of champagne. Her favorite champagne was Prosecco. I'm sorry, Prosecco. And she said, I don't want to make my transition here. I want to come home. I said, okay, you want to come? She said, no, I want to come to your house. And so I called the hospital, and quite naturally they said, you know what? They said, sir, your mom is not going to make it from the hospital to your house. So I said, you know what? With an outside affidavit to eliminate you from liability. I was willing to do it. And they brought her home. They brought her to my house. They made a, hospice upstairs in the room. And when we got her in the room, the first thing she did was she said, I knew exactly what she was talking about. She wanted that Prosecco.
Right.
So I gave her the Prosecco. Now, my mom was bougie. I ain't gonna lie. My mom was bougie. So I gave her the Prosecco in a red cup, right? Gave it to a red cup. She looked at me like that. I said,
one of them solo cups?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You don't do that.
Bro, she's like,
you don't do that.
I said, I said, okay. She said, she was gasping for air. She said, pretty glass. Got a nice pretty glass. One that I have that she gave me when I got married. Put it in there. Put on some Aretha Franklin. Dude, she was in 7 heaven.
Wow.
She's in 7 heaven. But then, crazy, she we were giving her the pain meds and doing all the stuff the hospital was telling us to do, but she just would not let go. And I knew why. At that time, Lindsay was in the hospital.
Wow.
And Lindsay was crying because she wanted to get out. When Lindsay came home from the hospital and she saw my mom, her granny, in that hospital bed, and she whispered in her ear and said, Granny, I'm here. That had to be like around 9 or 10 o'clock that night. 1:34 in the morning, my mom passed away.
Wow.
True story.
She stayed on long enough.
There you go.
Wow.
True story.
Wow.
True story. I said, wow.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Stayed on long enough.
Yeah. Yep.
See all the grandkids,
Exactly.
See everybody, because she was still worried about her.
Always worried. And I remember she used to always say, I cannot go, or Lindsay cannot go before me, because I don't know what I would do. And just think about it, ironically, Lindsay passed away 3 years after my mom did. Yep. Crazy, man. I mean, it's just when you start thinking about life and everything else, it's just crazy. I think about everything that I endured, everything that I went through. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I was, for the most part, I was a kid that my dad was a dentist.
Okay.
My dad was a dentist back in the 60s. So I didn't live that quote unquote, childhood, that most kids, my color did. We moved to Hyde Park in 1969. When there was it was probably like about 99% white.
Wow.
You know, and back then I had friends over in Hyde Park, but I still stayed in Chatham. I grew up in Chatham.
Okay.
You know, and I loved over there. I still went to with the Dixon. Still stayed over there. You know, and it was. I mean, I had a very good childhood. On both ends of the block. You know, what Hyde Park taught me was how to talk in a board. What Chatham taught me was how to talk in the boardroom with some effort. So I have both realms of life.
Okay.
So I can go in there and I can talk with the best of them
Right.
in the boardroom. But when I got on South Side Chicago, yeah, those were my boys.
You know how to relate as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
And see, that's the advantage that we have over everybody because we can do that.
That's true.
We can do that.
That's true.
You know?
That's
we
true.
can do
Got to be relatable to your people.
Oh, yeah.
Got to be able, because when you in situations, if you in situations, okay, let's say I come into an office and I'm concerned about what to do with my money. If I go to a brokerage office or and I see a black man, I'm gonna feel a little more comfortable.
There you go.
I'm gonna trust what he's saying.
Right.
You know?
Because he understood your struggle.
Exactly. He know what that feels like.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, and see, that's why it used to upset me, but now you see more and more professionals, both in the athletic and entertainment. They're doing what?
Asking for their own people.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is that right now to this day, if I did this to my kids, they'll go, okay, daddy, okay, I know what you mean. Because I told them, I said, when you do this, if you got a pocket full of money like this, money don't come out.
No.
That's true. I get it.
And none come in.
There you go.
Yeah.
They don't come in.
Yeah.
So you got to share. You know, our ethnic group is the dollar, if we're lucky, may pass 2 times.
If we lucky.
If we're lucky.
If we operating off those principles, that's the lucky part. If 2 black people know the black economic system,
thank you,
then that's how we get lucky.
Thank you.
But we take that money and shit, we going right over to spend it with.
Thank you.
Spend it with the Arabs, spend it with the Mexicans, spend it with the Italian.
And what do they do?
They take it and spend it with their people.
Thank you.
They keep their money going.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what we have to learn, man. We have to, get into this mindset where we have to think about what we're doing here. We really do, man. And to be honest with you, that has always resonated with me. But and I'm gonna give him some love, but the person that got me like really into it, man, was my son-in-law.
Okay. Shouts to Big Sid. Yeah, no,
that was my son-in-law.
He be on top of stuff.
Yeah, and I said, you know what? He's right. So I've been adamant about that.
Okay.
Adamant about that. You and I just had that discussion.
We did.
About the young lady that I just talked about with the shoe store.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Exactly.
I dealt with her back in 2019. I look up, she blew up, man. She got her own shoe company, accessories, doing well, live in Cali.
And Sid was a sponsor of today's episode.
Thank you.
Gold Coast Gang. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I had to show my professionalism, but I wear my Gold Coast Gang hoodie all the time.
I got some pieces.
Yeah.
I got some looted pieces.
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of pieces. But that's one of the things that we have to learn. We have to learn how to work with one another. We have to learn how to spread the knowledge.
Yeah.
Spread the knowledge.
We'd be afraid to do that.
Yeah.
And see, so and I guess I understand it. I got friends on both sides of the whole equation. I got friends that are financial advisors, and the information that they give out, they feel like it costs. My time costs. The information I'm giving out, I had to go study this stuff, and I get it.
Yeah,
I really get it. I don't have a problem with people that do that.
Yeah,
because their whole mindset is, when I tried to talk to you about it for free, you didn't listen. Yeah. You didn't value it.
Yeah.
So now I went and furthered my education in this field.
Right.
Now you got to pay me for it. But see, I feel like that destroys relationships sometimes.
Totally agree.
Because if I've been vibing with you all this time and now you go pick up some information that you could just tell me to advance us as a whole, well, now I gotta pay you for it. I'm gonna feel you, I'm gonna respect you, but it's gonna put a damper on what we're doing.
Right. You know what? I mean, it's and you hit it right on the head. I mean, if I was to generate revenue on all the advice that I've given throughout my lifetime,
you wouldn't need to sell insurance.
Think about it. Think about it.
I'll be paying.
But I look at it as that, when we had our time here,
yeah,
and we go up there,
yeah,
we're not going to be judged by our wallet, bro.
Exactly.
We're going to be judged by what we accomplished and what we did for his people.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
It ain't going to be judged on this.
No.
It's going to be judged on this.
Everybody cash the same size. Right. Everybody grave the same diameter, all of that. So it's like.
I totally agree. I mean, when you, and then too, is that when you do it for that particular purpose for here, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. Man.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
Just do it from the heart.
That's true.
Just do it from the heart. I mean, if I make $1, fine. If I don't, that's fine too.
Exactly.
And I tell people all the time, I'm not telling you to get it from me. If you felt that, John Smith, John Williams over here, I can resonate with him better, I'm fine with that.
Right.
As long as you do it.
Long as you do it.
As long as you do it.
I tell my clients that, like, I'll cut somebody here, and then you may not see them for a little while for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's the price, maybe it's the distance, maybe whatever it is. They'll see you, and then they'll try to come up with some kind of reason that's, I had to call this other barber because I don't care about that, man.
Exactly.
You got a good haircut, you good, it fit everything you doing.
Right.
I care about the relationship we build more because we was friends before I became your barber.
Exactly.
Exactly. I knew you before you had this background, before you had your career. I knew you. So now the conversations that we have now, I got to make an appointment. I got to like come on, man. I respect it.
Exactly. No, I totally agree. I mean,
but I'm gonna back up.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I tell people, take what I give you, and there's gonna be some pieces in there that you may not agree with me, and I ain't mad at you.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah,
just go ahead, and if you feel like something that I gave, it resonated with you, fine. If I told you and you said, "Hey, look, all the 100%, I don't agree," that's fine too.
That's fine too. You got that right.
Just start it.
Just
start somewhere.
Do something.
Just like with companies, I always tell people, get an LLC.
Yeah.
Get an LLC. Your day job don't always have to be your hustle job.
That's true.
Because you can take your hustle job and one day your hustle job won't be your real job.
That's true.
And your hustle job, you like doing it. That's why we call it your hustle job.
I follow this one guy. He talks a lot. He's into real estate. Mm-hmm. He's an ex-cop. I forget his name, but he's an ex-cop. And he talks about, he say, your job is your number one investor.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so
use that income. He was a cop. He said he made $36,000. Now he's well over into the millions buying properties. But them checks that I was getting, that's the main investor. So I'm not asking, I'm not borrowing, I'm not begging, I'm not destroying credit or nothing like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? The most underrated people, to me, just as my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's another thing I say too. It's another statement I always say. Sometimes people disagree with me, but there's no such thing as a right opinion. There's no such thing as a wrong opinion. It's just simply your opinion.
Facts.
That's it.
What separates them is facts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you just said that, some of the smartest people that I know falls in two categories.
Mm-hmm.
Police officers, like you mentioned, and guess what else?
Invest insurance. What? Barbers. Yeah. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Think about Luster product. Think about Mr. Luster. Freddie lost. What did he do? Came up with an incredible product.
Yeah.
With the hair and blossom.
Blossom.
So like I said, where you start don't always mean where you finish.
Right.
Where you start is not where you finish in life and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. That means think about that the first, and I could be wrong, the first minority owned Chick-fil-A that I know of in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
police officer.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. So, you got to learn how to take those tools, like you said, use that W-2 check to invest.
Fund your business.
There you go.
That's what it's about. And see, a lot of people, they don't understand that. They feel like if I don't got it together right now, it might be too late. Or is there such thing as it being too late?
It's not, you know what? It is when it's too late. I mean, it is a too late. You know when the too late is?
When you did. Right.
That's when it's too late.
Right.
Yep. But outside of that, I mean, you're never too old to learn.
Facts.
Never.
Facts.
Never too old to learn, man. I mean, I have a colleague, and he's in his 40s, and he and I go back and forth, and we parlaying ideals and bouncing off each other,
Mm-hmm.
and we gel like this.
Mm-hmm.
We gel like this, and he's like, you know what? You're the first old guy. I mean, old guy. Old guy, bro. I said, you know what? Like I said, I'll tell people, I'm ageless, when it comes to things.
Right.
And I'm meaning that I can resonate and talk to you. I can talk to people your age, like this.
Right.
But I can go and talk to people that's in their 70s and be the same way. Because I'm willing to listen.
Right.
I'm willing to give. I'm willing to take these tools that God gave me, and listen. And that's the whole key. Even with the young kids that we've been talking about, that's what they don't have, man. And I know because you're into football and working with these kids with
Right.
football, and you said something today. All they want you to do is listen to them.
That's it.
That's all they want you to
That's
do, man.
it. They want to. They want to know that they're valued.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That you are important.
Exactly.
You do stand on here for something. And that's what we have to get a hold of these kids, man. Right now, they're just so devalued, man. It's just not even funny, man.
That's the problem. See, that's how, because when kids and children and youth, when they look at us, they're giving us our respect.
Yeah.
But we're not giving them theirs.
Exactly.
And they're wondering, am I doing this right? Or like, what's
Yep.
going on?
Yep.
And it's so much of a disconnection that all we know how to do is talk about how it used to be, how things used to go, but we're not bridging those gaps.
Right.
Like we talked about with how
That's true.
family time meant to us.
Yeah.
It was
I
forced.
like your concept.
It was
I
forced.
saw that. Yep.
It was forced, but it was mandatory. It was needed.
Yep.
But then now, because you see under the whole umbrella of options and advancement and technology, that whole dynamic just got destroyed.
Yep. You know what? I mean, now we use as a to me, I look at it and I said, the babysitter now is YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And I make it a business with my grandson, and my granddaughter. I listen to them. Do you honestly think that I want to sit here and watch Disney?
Exactly.
And
all
watch,
day long.
And watch all this stuff. I just, want them to see that I'm involved with it.
Exactly.
That I show an interest in that. I ain't trying to listen to that stuff. I'm trying to get it, But I can't do that.
That's true.
So I just let me listen to them and see where they have, where they have it.
And then I'm gonna tell you something else. Just sitting down watching YouTube with your kids, it can help you prevent them from getting into a bunch of stuff that they shouldn't, because YouTube with kids is very predatory. Number one, if you're not careful, they'll show puppets.
Come on, man.
They'll show puppets.
Come on.
And all the nice pictures. So when you come in the room, you look at the screen, Oh, okay, they watching
Come on,
something.
Trent.
You
Come
watching
on.
something nice,
Come on.
but then that damn thing telling them to do some crazy
Man,
shit.
come on, Trent.
Yeah.
Come
So it's
on.
like you have to sit in there with your kids.
Man, dude, I mean, I'm sitting here with my grandson. Said with my grandson, okay, YouTube Kids,
Yeah.
right? Cool. I literally see a cartoon character that's a pile of shit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? I mean, it's amazing. And then I'm thinking from a political standpoint, we want to get Jimmy Kimmel off the air for freedom of speech.
Exactly.
But then what about this?
But YouTube is just a free place. Yeah, no, it's too much. You
on,
have to monitor what they're doing. You have to monitor what they're doing.
I mean, the parents now, I like you guys, I admire you guys, man, because you all are doing things that we never had to even think about.
Yeah.
Because we relied on our government.
Yeah.
To monitor those things.
Yeah.
Man. But now it's just crazy out here, man.
Yeah. You just got to be prepared for all angles.
Y'all got to go through the East TV and put parental controls and
too much.
You ain't got to do all that.
It's way too much. Those little things they convince kids. Roblox. Yeah. You get they be in them chat rooms telling kids to do shit to their parents. So like, man, it's so crazy. It's technology in itself is just a catch-22.
Yeah. It's just, I really feel like for these kids, man, because they they just didn't have the same, and I think what really upsets me is the fact that I remember as a kid growing up in Chatham, we didn't have, you know what our curfew was?
7, 8 o'clock. Street lights.
No street lights.
Yeah.
No street lights come on. We must come. But now I was thinking when I was taking out my kids to go bike riding, I can take my bike and go everywhere.
Right.
I got to ride with them because of all these pedophiles.
That's true.
It's crazy.
That's true. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Simple shit like a bike ride.
Thank you.
Yeah. I remember we grew up on the west side. We used to be able to go off 3, 4, 5 miles away from the house. We young kids.
Thank you.
Not have to worry about nothing.
Right.
But today's times, it's like, man, you can't even send a kid around the corner.
I know. I mean, it's crazy. And then now you gotta take off your time,
right,
to spend time with them,
right.
And they and I don't want to say needy, but they just don't have the same freedom that we have.
They don't.
And then I also blame that on what really upsets me is that, especially in my generation, is that we have these pedophiles that are my age, even 20 years ago.
That's true.
And I'm like, you had all these privileges, and now you invading on their privilege.
Exactly.
Come on, what's wrong with you?
Understanding the weight that it can just do to a child, they go their whole lives messed up because I mean,
it's just it's terrible, man. I mean,
you really just got to be careful.
You know what I mean? As a parent, you really do.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even think of one instance where I had to, approach someone that approached my daughters.
No.
At all.
And so you know what also they talk about? I see this. They say even with them sick motherfuckers, they target kids where the man is not around.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cause shit, ain't that, man? Look, I'm so involved. Yep. The school calls me. They don't call my wife. Mm-hmm. They do not call my wife. That's how much I'm involved. Yep. So you just know damn well I'm not allowing none of that shit to happen.
Exactly.
It almost forces you to be a parent in a small way, but I mean it's necessary.
Right. You know what? Crazy. I think that we're all created to achieve some type of success.
Yeah.
All of us are. And we all serve a purpose here. And what God gave me since inception, I've always had a good judge of care. Always.
Discernment is
God has blessed me with a good. I mean, I used to tell my mom when I was a kid, not really your friend.
Mm.
This person over here. And she'll go, you know what, Ricky, you're right. I didn't even know that.
Wow.
I'm like 7, 8 years old, man.
And you able to tell her that?
I'm able to. I said, no, to your phone. You know, or this person's phone. You know, so I take that tool and utilize it to better not just me or my family, but everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, and see, and the reason why I'm getting to this point is because I can, what you just said, I can feel it. I know you're a good dad.
Oh yeah.
I can feel it, you know, no doubt, you know, that you're very involved. My dad wasn't as involved with my childhood as I would like him to be.
Okay.
But I want to make clear that I'm not blaming my dad.
Right.
I'm not blaming my dad because he, you know, back when I was growing up, just to show you how segregated this country was, my dad wanted to go to dental school.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Wilson College,
Okay.
which is now Kennedy King.
Mm.
And when he got through, that's a 2-year institution. When he got through and he applied and he wanted to go to dental school, all in Chicago, they wanted to accept them blacks.
Wow.
So he had to go down to Nashville, Tennessee, a school called Meharry,
Mm-hmm.
in order to become a dentist.
Mm.
And so when he was down there, I would go see my father in the summers. When he was out in the summers. But the first year, he didn't pass. So he had to go to summer school. But that's why my father wasn't into my life as I would like him, because he had to go all the way to Nashville just to complete school.
Wow.
You know, so when he came back, you know, he became a dentist, became an office, been able to do it, all the things. So the baseball games, I was a baseball player.
Okay.
And all the games I had, my mom and my grandfather were there.
Mm.
My dad wasn't able to come. He was too busy at the office.
Right.
So that's why I made for sure that I wanted to be very instrumental in my kids' lives. I said that. I never fought my dad at all.
Right.
Because he was out there trying to make a living.
Exactly.
I wrote, you know, when my mom passed, man, I wrote a letter to myself. I knew she was dying. And I wrote a letter on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Out of this. To myself, late at night. And when I woke up, Trent, I had almost like 300 and 400 responses.
Wow.
And I just did it strictly from the heart. I had people calling me crying.
Wow.
Crying. And I was like, man, but I did it from the heart.
Right.
And I said, damn, I had that type of effect.
That's what happens when
You know?
when you speak from the heart,
Yeah.
and when you operate and all of that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you're gonna do.
Exactly.
Which is why, man, as two, I know he gonna be all the way from just the parents, but just having grandparents. And see, this is what it gets. I'm not gonna say. I mean, it gets a little emotional for me because my kids don't have any grandfathers.
Right.
My dad passed before my kids was born.
Right.
My wife's father passed before we had kids. So
Right.
just knowing how important having a grandfather, because I remember the relationship with my grandfather.
Right. Exactly.
Man, I still think about my granddaddy. I used to shave him. Nobody wanted to shave him. Nobody wanted to help him. I would take walks with him. Nobody wanted to do that. And he would always tell me, he said, man, I ain't gonna never forget you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many things happen in my life where I believe
Exactly.
he's been looking out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? Guess what? He still is.
Yeah.
He
Grandfathers are important.
Yeah, he still is, man. You know, like I said, I mean, I look at my granddaughter, and it's so crazy, man, because S2 calls me, at first he was calling me G Papa.
Okay.
On my license plate, I got G Papa. And then when I got the license plate and spent all this damn money for the license plate, then this Negro started calling me G Hopper. I'm like, I ain't getting no new place. Right, I ain't getting no new place.
That shit costs.
And then my granddaughter calls me Papa. You know, so we were somewhere, and I admit I had some health challenges. I had a lot of health challenges.
Okay.
You know, and God's been good to me. You know, and she'll go, Papa, let me see your sword. And I show her my sword, and then she look at me and she say, "I take care of you, Papa. I take care. Papa, I take care.
That's all right.
Don't worry about." I mean, that's I'm melt. I'm like, oh man, this is cool. And then they go, G Pop, G Hopper. He said, "You're the best. You're the best, G Hopper." So to have, man, I'm telling you, being a grandparent, man, it's just, I mean, to be in that special club,
So much fulfillment.
man,
Yeah. Yes, it is.
But the best thing about being a grandparent, you take it back home.
That's true.
You ain't got what time your daddy coming? What time your mama coming? That's the best thing. But I love my grandkids.
Yeah.
Love my grandkids.
If there was 3 pieces of advice that you could leave for the youth, even your grandsons, grandchildren, whether it's finances, whether it's relationship, whatever it is, whatever you got to leave them with.
That's a good question.
What would that be?
You know what? I would say number 1, follow your passion.
Okay.
Follow your passion. What we said earlier.
Yeah.
You follow your passion and find out what you really want to do in life. It's not work.
That's true.
That's number 1. As far as finances, work, save, and treat yourself. Pay yourself first.
Yeah.
You know?
I got a saying, and I ain't mean to cut you off. I got a saying. They say, and I got this from my dad. He say, "There's a poor dog can't wag his own tail."
That's so true.
So, and I used to always hear him say that. And then when I got to a point in my life where I was able to understand that, I knew right then I'm going to always put myself first. With all the shit I'm out here doing.
Now, you know I'm going to ask you to text me.
I will.
Yeah, text it to me, man. Yeah, I like that.
All the stuff I'm out here doing, all the people I'm taking care of, everything that I'm just responsible for. It's so easy to forget yourself. It's so easy to put yourself at the end. Like, no. So
treat yourself.
You have to.
Treat yourself. You know what?
And do it first.
I mean, and I'm sure, Trent, you probably do every and anything for your wife, for your kids.
I do.
You put yourself last.
Yeah.
Right? I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Bro. So sometimes we got to say, treat myself or something, Come on, man, treat yourself.
Every now and then I have to force myself. And I hate that sometimes it feels bad.
You feel guilty.
Yeah.
You literally feel guilty.
I went out and only got myself something to eat.
Right. Exactly.
I bought myself some
out to eat by yourself.
Yeah.
It was so funny because my birthday, it's funny. My birthday is Insurrection Day.
January 6th.
Yeah.
Okay.
My birthday's Insurrection Day. This is crazy, man. I went to pick up my mail from the office. Came back. Bro, I come to office, 205 North Michigan. Trent, I had a boot on my car.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, a boot? I get on, I'm talking to the dude that's, and he's saying, we're going to put this, blah, 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 blah. Couldn't tell me why. So I called the number and we talked on the phone and I said, "What's going on with the boot?" And they said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I got a boot on my car. What's going on?" They say, "Well, you had what they call it, red light
violation."
Okay. I said, "Okay." He said, "But the license plate is not resonating with some other plate that they gave me that I had previously, but that wasn't my plate. That wasn't my plate." So when we went through this whole process, and I said, why wouldn't you just use the driver's license number? Because I own the vehicle. And they found out, it was in fact the error. So I said, so what are we gonna do about this? And he said, "You know what? We're gonna come and take the boot off." I said, "Okay, but when? Because time is money." He said, "Well, it'll be between 2 and 3 hours." So I'm downtown. I said, "You know what? I'll just stay here."
Right.
I went to the place down the street. Got me I ain't gonna lie, got me a cocktail.
Right.
I'm enjoying myself. 2-3 hours came, called, still nothing. Trying to figure out what's going on.
Right.
Long story, bro. I got an Uber. I went home. I did my work, and would you believe that I had to pay the boot fee, and now I got to go back and get my money back.
Pay the boot fee to get the boot off, and then come file paperwork to
That
get
was
your
the
money.
fastest way to do it.
Wow.
You know, and so I'm like, I got an attorney already.
And all that could take some business days.
Exactly.
2-3 weeks. Yeah, that's too much.
But that's how I spent my birthday. That I started out that day. And I said, you know what? I'm not gonna let this destroy my birthday. Not gonna let it destroy my birthday.
Yeah.
And ironically, business wise, I picked up a major company. See? So that's why I tell people, we just gotta, keep the fight, keep pushing, man. Because don't let minute things get you down.
That's
to the
true.
Point. We gotta still push it, man. We gotta push it every single day.
That's true.
We have to demonstrate and show these kids. Like I know a lot. My son-in-law always talk about this all the time. He always says, man, you live in the hood, but you got this and this and this and that. I said the reason why is because when I grew up, we didn't leave and go to Island Park. When we became successful, we didn't go to the suburbs. We stayed there.
Yeah.
Think about Chatham. Chatham used to rank in the top 10 African American neighborhoods from a per capita standpoint all the time. We got so many famous people that live in Chatham, not even far.
Right.
I
know Common's mom still live in Chatham.
Yeah. Common. Think about this. When I grew up, I grew up on 79th and St. Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with 81st and Rhodes?
Yeah.
Guess who lived on 81st and Rhodes? 8159 Rhodes. Ernie Banks.
From the Cubs.
I played with his kids.
Wow.
Joey and Jerry Banks.
Wow.
Billy Williams lived on 73rd and Clyde.
Okay.
Soft Sheen, like
the haircut.
S-Curl.
Yeah.
They were on 94th around Michigan.
Wow.
Luster Products.
Right.
Freddie Luster, 80th in Indiana.
Okay.
Dempsey, are you familiar with Dempsey Travis? Dempsey Travis was a real estate mom.
Okay.
Right there in Chatham. Roland Bears.
Roland Bears, yeah. I heard of him.
Jackson.
Okay.
Chatham. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. But it's just that my point is that we as kids could identify with success. That's important.
They gave us something to see.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's why I stayed. That's why my kids stayed. And I wanted to set an example and say, look, you don't have to be that drug dealer.
Exactly.
You don't have to be that gangbanger. When kids start seeing kids, when kids look at adults and they see them leave in the morning, come back in the evening, that's volumes.
Yeah.
Volumes of knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's why I decided to stay, because I wanted to be an example. But now that I'm 66 and I'm getting up there, I'm gonna probably scale down because I got a house. We live in Chatham. Brianna was born. We were in Calumet City.
Okay.
And we came right back to the city. But now, my wife and I are like empty nesters. So we got this house that got like 4 bedrooms and Trent. We only occupy 2 rooms, our bedroom and the kitchen.
Wow.
That's it.
Right.
Thanks again for tuning in to the Trent the Truth Show. Please make sure you like and subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. Follow us on social media, Trent the Truth. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you want to be a guest, email me at TrentTheTruthShow@gmail.com. Again, that's TrentTheTruthShow@gmail.com. Thanks again. Tell your friends. Watch it together.